Second recipient in the category of allied fields is Ms. Bhavna Isar from the PMIR 1996 batch.
Ms. Bhavna Isar is the founder and CEO of a social venture, Caregiver Sathi, which is a tech-enabled support system for family caregivers who provide long-term home-based care so that they have the peace of mind to create memories with their loved ones. She has consulted with WHO and Stanford University for care and caregiver-related topics. She partners with organizations in shaping future-fit corporates that are resilient and innovative by anticipating changes in talent and consumers.
With nearly 28 years of experience in HR, she is interested in learning and behavioral sciences, is an organization consultant in the area of innovation, leadership, and organization development, running a boutique consulting firm, Sambhavna. She is a fellow and facilitator in process work with Sumedha's Academy for Human Context, Gestalt OD practitioner. She has been a visiting faculty with XLRI, IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Udaipur, SP Jain, NMIMS, and SPA. Her story was included in the book by best-selling author Rashmi Bansal, Touch the Sky, the inspiring stories of women across India who are writing their own destiny. She is also an avid motorcyclist, a Limca record holder, and believes motorcycling has helped her push the boundaries of the body and mind. She supports women also to be motorcyclists and realize their dreams.
May I now invite on stage Shri Dharmendra Pradhanji, Mr. T.V. Narendran, and Director Father George to present the next award. We request you, Bhavna ma'am, to please come on stage and receive the award.
We thank Shri Dharmendra Pradhanji, Mr. T.V. Narendran, and Father S. George for presenting the award.
Ma'am, we request you to please say a few words.
I'll also request for the light to be turned off, please. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have to confess, I'm doing a very bad job at keeping a calm demeanor with a pacing heart and very wet palms. So please be kind to me. I'm right now trying to very sincerely channel all the learnings from Father J. Surajan's classes, and in the true spirit of XLRI, Fraxing, I have put together this speech at the very last minute. While I should have ideally delivered this speech without looking at my notes, that's what was taught to us. I don't think that's possible because this speech has somehow magically come together in the last 30 minutes. Biju Kurian, who's sitting next to me, is witness. My story could have been that of millions of girls and women in India in 1994 when I got the admission to XLRI. It could have been one of an unrealized dream. My dilemma was similar to what Rahul's was, and luckily my parents counseled me just like his mom did. Although my father was ailing with a rare neurological condition, and my mother, who is here today, always cheering me, could have certainly done with more help. But it wasn't even something that she considered. although we had to borrow the money for the fees for my first semester. I'm grateful to my uncle who said, don't even think about it. I'm remembering him fondly right now because I couldn't be here if he hadn't nudged my parents. I'm grateful to my mother and my father who encouraged me to pursue higher education, employment, and most importantly, financial independence. I grew up in a home that didn't believe in gender discrimination. And in fact, I had the first ride to my father's scooter as the right of adulthood. I left that home to find another one here in Excel, where I learned, grew, made friends, and had experiences that have shaped me in many, many ways. The most precious of my experiences has been borrowing the motorcycles of many young men classmates who, much to their disappointment, couldn't take me as a pillion, but I would say, just lend me your bike, that's all I need. And seeding my love for motorcycle riding. And as is true for homes, I gained friends who loved me despite my idiosyncrasies and continue to embrace me, so many of them here today, hold me and cheer me over the years, sometimes without really understanding who I am and what I do and why I do what I do. There are so many here today. I love you all. And many who are here in spirit, and I know will be waiting to hear from me. But thankfully, none of them I know will also leave any stone unturned to keep me grounded in case I just decide to fly too high. I want to take a moment to acknowledge my professors who have often been frustrated with me for my late submissions and yet indulged me. I take comfort in that today I may have redeemed myself, perhaps in some part. Unlike my other batchmate, my very topper batchmate, who you will hear about soon. In particular, I want to remember Professor Geeta Saxena, who gave me a safe home when my parents were grappling with curved balls life was throwing at them. She was the person I ran to share when I got placed on day one. Something many, and even I, didn't believe was possible. And thank you, Professor Madhukar Shukla, for nurturing my ideas over the years, especially my social venture. I came to XLRI looking for a profession and employment, and what I found was conviction in myself, inspiring relationships, and unconditional support. Even if I went off the road from the typical corporate career, here I am, feeling not just validated, but celebrated. That's what homes do. And I think that's the spirit of homecoming. And I do not take this honor lightly. I'm grateful to XLRI also for that I found a partner in Gaurav, who has been a relentless believer and cheerleader. And trust me, there are many days when I'm not as gracious or complimentary. My life experience has led me to finding my purpose, passion project, and often my identity in Caregiver Sathi. Not just that of honoring my experiences as a caregiver to my mother, who was the primary caregiver to my father, a caregiver to myself, and celebrating all the caregivers who have nurtured, tolerated, understood, and even cherished me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to take a moment and let this sink in. Women and girls in India contribute 3.26 billion hours of unpaid care work every day. It is equivalent to $1 trillion of GDP. Many of which are waiting to be unlocked if only we can recognize and value the role caregivers play in childcare, caring for the aging and the ailing. There are caregivers all around us, but most of us don't identify as caregivers. And increasingly, we will be caregivers to many, if we aren't already. They are all caregivers, and I invite you to share your stories and join us in our endeavor at Caregiver Sathi. My daughter Vanya is here today, and I dream of a day when young girls would see many women, would see themselves easily making to this stage, hosting many, many women. And if there is any institution where this is possible, it is XLRI. And for all the work that we are doing through CEGIL and other pioneering initiatives that are impacting the world. Here's to all the incredible Excel ki Kuriyan who are inspiring and many of whom are here today. Come on, a round of applause to Excel ki Kuriyan. You know, I started my passion project of Caregiver Sathi when I felt perhaps time was running out on me. I wondered if I didn't cross the age of 54. That was the age that my father passed at. I wanted to live a dharmic life of purpose, honor his life experience, my life experience, and earlier this year, I turned 50. I'm glad to mark it with this fabulous recognition. Thank you. I really wanted my dad to be here today, and the last 2 days I was at NDA Kadakwasla for the Diamond Jubilee reunion of my father's course. 60 years, enjoying the company of 80-year-olds behaving like 17-year-old boys. That's what reunion does. Many of them shared stories of my dad, and I found my dad again in a special way. Not just that, I feel that many of them are here with me today, and it is indeed special that NDA also celebrates its 75 years anniversary this year. While I have some time till 54, now I'm wiser, and I know this is quite likely a traumatic response. Apparently, it's a phenomenon that those who lose their parents early are likely to find crossing their parents' age a milestone. Now imagine my trauma when I read a recent research which said women who reach 49 without any major illness are likely to live up to 92. I have just not planned for that, and certainly not financially. I have been nervously looking at my retirement corpus and looks like it is going to be far from sufficient. And just in case I end up living another couple of years, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Really? Especially if I don't fix my weight problems today. So here I am back on campus, eager and mentally ready to restart my career, like in the spirit of the 22-year-old who graduated 28 years ago for a second career, not in allied fields, but back on track, the new track, the entrepreneurial journey. Having completed my promise to my purpose, it feels it's now time to chase my other childhood dreams. After all, we live in an era of portfolio careers and infinite possibilities, and this may just be the time for me to explore the world of technology that always lights up my eyes and heart. Immense gratitude to all of you, the Alumni Association, faculty, and everyone who has touched me and shaped me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.